What's up, Dolphins fans? Today we're going to be talking about the Week 6 matchup against the Minnesota Vikings here at home. Before you get started, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Trying to get to 400. But yeah, today we're just going to talk about the matchup, what we liked about the game against the Jets, what we didn't like, what we could expect to see, and our keys to victory if we want to win. So first we're going to start about talking about the Jets game. Obviously Teddy got knocked out of the game after the first play. I say knocked out, but really he wasn't. He could have come back into play. He didn't have a concussion. One of the spotters with the new concussion rule saw that he stumbled, so they ruled him out. He couldn't come back because of that new rule, which was implemented due to Tua coming back in that Bills game. But then Skyler came in. It was a different ball game. He wasn't prepared to start the game. I think he didn't do terrible. I mean, he was a 7th round pick, and he wasn't practicing with the ones the whole week, so not a lot of preparation there. But I did think he did okay. Obviously, some decision making needs to be better. Needs to go. Maybe be a bit more accurate. We saw some short pass, some long balls that were short of the receivers, multiple of them. Just like to see him better accuracy and also better pocket awareness. We saw that fumble, which just after that there was, I believe we were down 16. And after that there was absolutely no chance to come back. But what turned around what the thing that really got the Jets going was the missed field goal by Jason Sanders. Really, he's ever since that great year that he had in 2020. The last season he was inconsistent. He would miss one important field goal. So that made a difference. But on the defensive side, a lot of people saying that why is this defense allowing so many points in general, not even just the Jets game. First of all, they haven't had Xavier Howard. He hasn't been healthy. He played against the Bengals. He wasn't healthy that game. Didn't play against the Jets. Haven't had Byron Jones. And we started good against the Jets, kept the Bills within, didn't score that much. We had that bad game against the Ravens. I think that was just, for me, I just saw a lot of zero blitzing when it wasn't necessary. That's one of the other things. But then all these points that they allowed, it was not allowed. The Jets scored 40 points against the Dolphins. And really, I mean, let's see here. So it started off the game with a safety. That's 2 points. Then that safety, they had a nice return after that punt, and they got a field goal off of that. Then, let me see. Then Skylar Thompson, he had the interception, which led to a touchdown, and then he had the fumble, which also resulted in a touchdown. So that's let's see, that's 7, 14, that's 19 points. So like that's a lot, and that's not the and the missed field goal, 26 points. Now it's not. I'm not trying to make an excuse because the defense didn't play great either way, but that's 26 points there that let's say 19 that were on the quarterback, or like that the defense couldn't control. They were already in good field goal position, in good scoring position on all those drives. So really, that's where, when you break it down, it's not on the defense. But really, it was, from the scoreboard you'll see it was a blowout. But really, going into the fourth quarter, it was 17-19. We're with our third string quarterback, our backup right tackle, without our star left tackle, with Jalen Waddle's playing injured, Tyreek Hill's playing injured. Then we don't have Xavier Howard. We were decimated for sure, but hats off to the Jets. Either way, they came away with a win. Have good talent, good, like Breece Hall a lot, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, obviously a great cornerback. But this game was way closer than the scoreboard. So in the fourth quarter, they scored 21 points. They had 3 touchdowns. So they had a Michael Carter had a touchdown, a 1-yard run. That was just that was a 4-minute drive. Then Breece Hall had a 5-yard run. I think that was on one of the fumbles, I believe. And Breece Hall, that was a 5. It was on one play, and they scored a touchdown. So that was on the fumble. And then Braxton Berrios, a 15-yard run in a 3-minute drive for a touchdown. So really, it wasn't. Those were really on turnovers and stuff like that, missed opportunities. But yeah, that was a tough game. Obviously, we're gonna move on to the Vikings game right now. So we play the Vikings. It's here at home. Tua just got ruled out. But some good news, he's actually practicing today. He's throwing. He's obviously limited, but not ready to play. There's a possibility he does come and play on that Sunday night game against the Steelers. Also, Teddy Bridgewater, he hasn't practiced yet. He's able to practice tomorrow, but Mike McDaniel said that either way, Skylar's going to be starting. I don't know if this is because Teddy hasn't been practicing all week, or just Mike McDaniels hasn't liked what he's seen from Teddy in past practices and that Bengals game. But Skylar Thompson starting. He, like I said, he didn't play horrible, but he didn't play great. With a week of preparation, I would like to see. I'd like to see what he's able to do. He had a great college career. Watching some highlights from him, he's a pretty good runner. Has a good arm. Very accurate, at least in college. Some tight window throws, very nice tight window throws that he was able to make. But yeah, it's different in the NFL. What I'd like to see from the offense, obviously we didn't see it from the Jets. I think that was mainly due to Hill and Waddle not playing 100%. Hill was even he left the game from a foot injury. He was on in a walking boot, and then Waddle didn't get that many targets. I'd like to see them just slants, screens, getting the ball out quick. Get the running game going like you did last game. That's one positive from that game. Teron Armstead is also expected to play, so that's good. I think Austin Jackson is practicing this week. I don't think he's playing. But we'll see what ends up happening with that. But they just need to give Skyler needs to get the ball out of his hands quickly, in the hands of his playmakers. That gives us a chance to win. We've seen Tyreek Hill do it with Matt Moore, over 160 yards. So Tyreek Hill can produce with any quarterback, like he said. But on the defensive side, Xavier Howard is playing. He's had 17 days of recovery, getting back to it. I think he's going to be close to 100%. And really, he has to be going against a top receiver in the league, Justin Jefferson. Expect them to have X on him a lot and try to double team him. He's had that Cooper Kupp role in that offense with their head coach being the offensive coordinator of the Rams last year. So I expect to see a lot of that. A lot of pressure. They need to pressure Kirk Cousins. He hasn't done well under pressure. So a lot of blitzing. Keep Dalvin Cook, contain Dalvin Cook. He got off to a slow start, but he had a pretty good game actually. Last week he had 94 yards. And then he had 27 receiving yards. He's had some ups and downs. The first week he had 90 yards rushing, then 17, 96, 76, 94. So he's kind of been more productive these past few games, but he wasn't really. At least for me, I didn't see him as explosive those first few games. But last game he did look really good. They got him more involved in the passing game. So just containing him. I would like to see our front four get more pressure. Phillips has gotten a lot of pressure, just hasn't gotten sacks. Agba's been playing well. Just Christian Wilkins too. So that front has been good. It's just that secondary. If they have X, I think we have a chance, which is he is playing. But let's see the Vikings, they average 23 points per game. The Dolphins average 23 as well. Points allowed, they allow 20, we allow 26. Obviously, a majority of that is from that Jets game. Total yards, Vikings 374, Dolphins 361. Yards passing, about the same at 270. Yards rushing, they have over 100 and we're at 80. But they seem to establish more of a run game. And then yards allowed, we've allowed more passing yards, allowed by about 30. And then rushing yards, they've allowed 120 per game, also 110. So really kind of an even matchup. Most of our defensive stats, those tend to be higher because of that Buffalo game where Allen went for over 400 yards. But I do think it's a winnable game. We've seen, I was very high on the Vikings coming into the season. They're 4-1, yes, but really their past 3 games, they've won by single digits. It was against the against the Lions, they won 28-24, and that was without the Lions didn't even have DeAndre Swift. Then against the Saints in London with Andy Dalton backup quarterback, they won 28-25, and that was off a missed double doink miss by Will Lutz. And then against the Bears, they almost lost to them. If it weren't for a strip, one of their corners stripped the ball from one of their wide receivers, didn't go out of bounds, and it got away, and they ended up winning that game 29-22. But really, those aren't the greatest teams, greatest offenses. Greatest defenses. And really, they're not. They've scored. The most they've scored is 29 against the Chicago Bears, which they don't really have a great defense right now. But from this game, like in my predictions, I did have them losing even with Tua, but that was with me thinking I really thought the Vikings were gonna be a way better, more explosive team. But I do think we lose this game. I don't think we'll win this game. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be very hard to win, especially with Skyler and his inexperience. But there's definitely a chance that we can win this game. So it's not like I'm sold on like the Vikings winning this game. I'm about like 55-45 just because of what I've seen. The Vikings haven't been able to really play, haven't really taken the next step, and especially playing against lower tier quarterbacks like Justin Fields, Andy Dalton, guys like that. Nothing against Justin Fields, by the way. He's in a very, very tough offense to succeed in, so nothing against him. I think he has a potential to be a great quarterback, just doesn't have that. Really, that offense isn't tiered to him. Anyway, yeah, I do. Like I said, I have us losing. I think it's gonna be like maybe like 23-28, a closer game. Again, like I said, this is most people really now without Tua, even without Teddy, don't think it's possible to win. I think there's a possibility. I just don't know how Skyler's gonna look. If Skyler looks like I'm basing this on last week. Now, if Skyler, he's had a week of practice, right? He's gonna have more chemistry. It's gonna be hard to build all that chemistry up in just a few practices. But he's gonna be more in sync with the receivers. If that happens, if Xavier Howard is back healthy, if Teron Armstead's back healthy, if Tyreek Hill and Waddle are back healthy, we have a chance to win this game. Because the Vikings really, they haven't, like I said, they haven't really played to that standard everyone thought they were going to play to. And they've given up, like, every game they've given up, every game except the one, they've given up over 22 points. So I think it's a winnable game. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about this game? And make sure you guys subscribe. Thank you for watching. Fins up.